my question to the three of you is, and we'll go one by one where you can share your points, that during this COVID-19 health crisis, that most of the schools have been closed. And as a result, the education of girls has uh, been suffering. And especially when we look at the marginalized communities, the section of our societies, that has been at the stake. So, according to you, Isha, let's start with you. Like, what are the possible ways to ensure there is this connectivity, during these times? And something that you guys may have also seen and worked when you were, yeah. So, please take this forward.
So the first thing I would say is feedback to everyone, all the organizations working, is to include Adivasi and tribal communities in the conversation when you're looking for solutions. It can't just be people sitting in the cities finding solutions which we think work in marginalized areas, but that's not always the case, because once we get opinions and once we get feedback from the communities themselves, we have noticed ourselves that there are already solutions existing which they may not have been able to implement as yet, but they are there. So instead of kind of deciding for ourselves what these solutions are, we should discuss and include them in the conversation. I have seen a lot of instances, like for example, in UP, the government decided to broadcast the classes using All India Radio, which is great, and using community radios as well, because many students don't have access to phones, they don't have access to internet. Even though they have phones, then there's no electricity. And even if there's electricity, then there's no network. So there's a bunch of variables here and not everything works out together. So although there are these solutions, I would also like to point out that this problem is not new. There was no network even before Corona. There was no electricity even before Corona. This problem, especially in tribal and Adivasi areas, has existed for a very long time. And instead of finding solutions that just apply for this short period of time, although we don't know when COVID will end, we have to look at a broader perspective, like Bishakha also said in her talk before, that this is not just a tech problem, it's a social problem. Adivasis and tribals have been excluded from conversations, from discussions, from solutions for a very, very long time.
Girls' education is any which way an afterthought. And now when education has sort of shifted online, then that has made it, it's made it one step further for every system of oppression, like every additional system of oppression. These things are getting as much farther for marginalized girls and women. So and not just for girls and women across rural areas. What we've seen, that the teachers were also struggling. Like even the teachers didn't have smartphones. Like there is not enough systemic support. Like there are campaigns like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, but if you would see, how they're spent, the majority of them are being spent on advertising. And while one would say that is also important because it helps to create awareness, and we do need to create awareness because, you're going back to the fact that it's a social problem, but then it's also a caste problem, and it's also a class problem, and it's also a gender problem. So you need to sort of back it up with systemic support. I think it's the job of the media as well, speaking as, from a grassroots news network, that so many of these areas that we report from, they're media dark. And like before us, they were completely media dark. So I think those stories need to be brought out. There need to be more media organizations that are bringing stories out about marginalized women and girls. And in like the model we work on is like the hyperlocal embedded reporter. Our mission statement is Aapki Khabar, Aapki Bhasha. So it's like girls and women from their own communities speaking about the problems facing their own communities.
You must have heard, many of you, that Internet Sathi is a project where women get a mobile and she is further doing teaching and learning and whatever it is started by Tata Trust and Google, and DF as one of the largest implementing partner. We trained more than 5 million girls on digital devices. because it was part of the project. So when you have a part of the project, and when an internet Saathi is getting a gadget which is a smartphone, then when you go with those kind of schemes, then the village people are not going to say no or something, because it's a program which is coming with an asset, with a digital asset. Even though after giving that mobile, maybe the bhaiyas and the fathers and might be using more than her, but at least at the face of it, and in terms of scheme, or in terms of project, or in terms of plan, it goes into the hands of the woman, and then she's being paid for training 500 to 600. So that way we reached almost about several thousand women at a grassroots level having a smartphone into their hands.
We made a very conscious effort when we were planning our training to include minimum of 50% women, because most of the applications that we got were from male participants, and we consciously decided that we would select at least 50% women, if not more, for the training, because we understand, although we had kept a clause that they should have a phone and access to internet, but then we realized later that may not possibly be the case, especially among women, that they will not have access to this technology and to the internet. And while they did the training, they were also given smartphones, some of them using them for the first time. We basically trained them on how to create content using phones. So articles, videos, anything basically where they can use as a medium to share stories from their communities. And what we saw was that the women hold the knowledge of the community. They are the ones who pass it down from generation to generation, whether it's cooking, whether it's traditions, whether it's customs, whether it's languages, whether it's songs, whatever it is, medicines, everything. It's the women who are passing it down to their children. And when they did get these smartphones in their hands, the kind of stories that we saw were also pretty obvious, because the women tend to interview more women, and that's exactly what we wanted.
Our model, our motto is Aapki Khabar, Aapki Bhasha, your news in your language. So it's the model of the hyper-local embedded reporter reporting from their own communities. So I think that's sort of inbuilt into the DNA of Khabar Lahariya, and that has come with its fair share of challenges, but I think representation itself, the fact that women have occupied the space before us, people in the villages that we operate from, they didn't know that women could be reporters, that women could be journalists, that Dalit women could be journalists. So now that we have, and not that our reporters were taken seriously right away, people started giving them, immediately the recognition of professional journalists. That was also a very long journey. But by now, now our editor-in-chief is the only Dalit editor on the Editors Guild of India. And, and she's a TED speaker. So they've become local influencers. Because we're a local news channel, our primary audience is the local audience. So we are creating stories in their language for their consumption. And then we're taking that research, we're sort of that hyper-local research and reportage, and we're placing it, we're juxtaposing it into a broader national context, international context for an urban reader to sort of make those connections.
Similarly, हमारा एक बहुत strong project है Wi-Fi का. We go to remote areas, and where there is no connectivity, we create Wi-Fi hotspots. तो हम लोगों ने वो पहले 5-10 साल हम लोगों ने काफी उसको किया, एंड देखा कि ज्यादातर लड़के वाईफाई इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हैं और वही कनेक्टिविटी फैला रहे हैं और वही सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. तो हमने उस प्रोग्राम में बंद कर दिया. हमने कहा कि अब सारी कनेक्टिविटी लड़कियां करेंगी, वही सीखेंगी इंटरनेट, वही सीखेंगी वाईफाई, वही करेंगी सब कुछ. एंड देन सडनली आई विल सेंड द वीडियो ऑफ दिस गर्ल इन आंध्र प्रदेश इन हिंदूपुर. शी कम्स इन साड़ीज एंड सीधे वो टावर पे चढ़ गई एंटेना लेके ऊपर लगाने के लिए. We literally, we were zapped कि this possibility, because it was also physical issue, physical में एक टावर पे चढ़ना, and she had no problem at all. And then उसको देख के ऐसा लगा कि suddenly कि हमारे अंदर भी है, किसी के अंदर, बहुत सारे लोग, उनके अंदर बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो हम बाहर नहीं निकाल पाते हैं. तो just because we made the program, I mean हमारे उस प्रोग्राम का नाम भी है barefoot engineer, women barefoot engineer, you know, तो हमने उसका प्रोग्राम का ऐसे ही किया है कि एक तो एक इंटरनेट इज नॉट अ टेक्नोलॉजी, डोंट टेक इट एज अ टेक्नोलॉजी, वाईफाई इज नॉट अ टेक्नोलॉजी, डोंट टेक इट एज अ साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी.
The women started creating content when they started going out of their houses and taking their phones and say, you know what, I want to interview you about this, or I want to talk to you about this, or just asking questions. People were noticing. They're like, ye kya kar rahi hai? Like, what is she doing? Who is she doing this for? Like, that curiosity is also there, but then it's also like, like what's going on here? And then when she finally showed them the content, ki acha, article likha hai, video likha hai, published hua hai, the girls especially in Chhattisgarh, the girls in the communities of our creators were like, हाँ, ये मैं भी कर सकती हूँ. ये दीदी ने किया, पहली बार हुआ है गांव में, ऐसी कोई लड़की है जिसने कंटेंट बनाया है ऐसे, उसने किया तो शायद मैं भी कर पाऊंगी.
The pandemic has hit people so hard. People are scrambling for basic resources to sort of, survive. They're like food and water, Bundelkhand, like there are such basic things before, like internet comes like, slightly later, because while you're still like, if you don't have a ration card, if you're still struggling for ration, for water, for these basic like things to stay alive for, then again, like phone and internet and technology become like sort of take like a backseat. So those are things that have to come with systemic support. And we feel that the government should actively, bring out schemes aimed at